Hi, this is Jason here at RoofSnap,
And I'm Katrina.
and welcome to another frequently asked question. We're jumping back into iOS, and today we're on an iPad Pro, the big, nice, big 12.9 inch.
That's right.
And I think we're going to talk about one of the hot topics today. Katrina, what do we have?
So this FAQ is regarding drone imagery. As I'm sure you all have seen in our previous FAQs, of course, we have tons of integrated imagery that you can choose from here in RoofSnap, but you can also import your own drone imagery. So Jason, how do we do that?
Yeah, well, we're going to start by tapping on Start New Project. And to import, of course, we select an office as always. Give it a test project name. And you're not required to put in an address when you import a drone because, again, you're using your own image and you don't have to have Google search for it. But it is still recommended, especially if you want to see any of the supplementary imagery. I'm going to bypass that step just for right now and tap on the Done button. Oh, and add the E. Test drawn import. Who's drawn and why are we importing him? But now that I've corrected the spelling and tapped on the Done button, I'm going to go to RoofSnap. Now here, since we didn't put in an address, it's just staying right on our physical location, and that doesn't matter because the import button is up here in the upper left-hand corner.
Ah, great. Okay.
Now, as Katrina, as you already mentioned, there is integrated imagery, but if you're getting ready to measure or put together measurements and an estimate for an address that is very rural, you don't have a good Google image, maybe you're in a country that has poor imagery altogether with no Apple flyover and no near map. Our neighbors to the north use drones all the time to capture imagery in order to measure here in RoofSnap.
Sure. Or perhaps it's part of your selling process to go out and fly the drone.
Sure, drones are exciting and a hot topic and usually brings the homeowner outside during the process, so it can really build rapport with the customer. Once you tap on the import button, it's going to show you your photos library. And you see I have set up specifically a DJI import folder where I've brought a couple images over from my DJI drone. If you've saved them to your camera roll or if you've taken a screenshot, and we'll talk about that here momentarily, you can always move those images into a folder specifically for your drone pictures. I've done it just for ease of demoing.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and take a look at the two that I've got. And first of all, we want to talk about altitude. So when you capture the image, you need to be straight overhead. So let's open up this image here on the right. It's straight overhead. But one of the things that we're seeing here in this image is that it was taken at a fairly low altitude. We recommend getting up to 400 feet. That is sort of the ceiling that's been allowed by the FAA for this type of drone piloting. But what you'll see here is this rake in particular has a pretty substantial angle to it.
Right.
And it's skewed because we're too close. If we were 20 feet off of the roof top, it would be extremely distorted, and you would notice it immediately. So we recommend, this was probably taken somewhere around 200 feet. Again, one of the good points here, it was taken from straight over top, but let's cancel. Go back into RoofSnap, tap on import again here in the upper left-hand corner. Go back into that DJI import folder, and let's grab a different one. So this one, this one's right around 400 feet, and there is still just some slight inward bend on the rakes, but we are much, much more accurate. I would typically just use the ridge line as the length of the roof and draw the rakes at 90 degrees using 90 mode straight off from the ridges. So it would actually end up drawing a line that would be a little bit outside the gutter length at the bottom, but I would follow the actual length of the ridge across the top.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Now, once you have captured your image with your drone, the goal is to get it into your photos library. And we may do another video with a frequently asked question about actually transporting or transmitting your image from your drone to your device. There's a lot of drones out there.
Sure.
Some require a memory card that you have to take out and then put into your device or put into some sort of a reader that connects to your device. So it can get pretty complicated with all the different drones and importing functionality there. But what I recommend, just as a quick tip, go into the images within the app that you've used to pilot the drone. And within that, rotate the image. If you guys see me down here in the little corner, let's see, rotate the image to where it's nice and straight in the screen, because a square image is going to be easier to work with. If you can, within the app itself, zoom in on the house. You're going to be at 400 feet, right? So there's going to be a lot of zooming to actually get just that house in the screen. And you'll be viewing this on your device, on your iPad. So once you have the image sort of like right there, straight and zoomed in, then press the home button and the power button at the same time. Take a screenshot. That's going to instantly screenshot that image into your photos library. It's probably the fastest way to get the image from your device, your drone that is, uploaded directly into your photos.
Sure. Absolutely. And that import button essentially takes you straight into your photos library. And that's what RoofSnap uses to import this drone imagery.
Exactly. So once you get the image in square, and of course we've repositioned it even a little bit more and zoomed in, we cannot rotate in this screen with the drone image. So even though we are just a little bit out of center, it's really, really close though. That's definitely good enough for accurate measuring. Then, just like any other imagery source, you're going to tap on Snap and Start Drawing. Now, there's one major difference. Instantly, you're going to get a notification here with instructions to tell you to draw a line that reflects a known distance. So let's tap on OK. Now, we have the drawing tool up, and maybe we have field measured along the back eave. But what's more likely is probably this front eave near the garage. So let's zoom and pan. Move the image down and really zoom in on this front gutter section that we can see here. Switch back to draw up here in the upper left. Then, similarly to drawing out our roof, we're going to start at the left side of the gutter and tap on the screen, changes the cursor green. We're going to come across the gutter, come right to the edge, and here we want to be really accurate and make sure we draw the line right to the stopping point of the gutter, and then tap again. Now, from the ground, you'll have to take one field-verified measurement, which will set the scale for the entire roof.
And why do we typically recommend an eave or something like that for the measurement?
Certainly. So this measurement has to be a measurement that is parallel with the ground. So that's going to be a ridge, an eave, a wall, but typically an eave, because it's the most easy measurement to get from the ground or from a ladder or from a safe place on the roof. Okay. The ridge may also be an option. And don't measure a 5-foot ridge when the building is 40 square. Measure a long ridge or a long eave. That's going to give you the largest spectrum for setting scale for the entire roof.
Gotcha.
The longer the measurement, the better. So let's just make an assumption here, and let's say that this eave across the front is 22 linear feet long. Okay. If it was 22 feet 6 inches, we're going to change that to a decimal. So don't put in 22.8 as 22 feet 8 inches.
Right.
Convert that to a decimal. Let's call it 22.5, 22 feet 6 inches. Then when you tap on OK, which I did not do. I'm sorry. I tapped on the screen and my little dialog box went away. So let's draw it one more time. And you tap to lock the line, and then we put in 22.5 and tap OK. Now we have set the scale, but we have to accept it. So come right back up here to the top and tap on accept here in the middle, and that now locks in the scale.
Great. Okay.
Now when we open up RoofSnap, we have the drawing from which we can begin to start drawing all the lines and measuring out the roof. See other frequently asked question videos about drawing and sketching your roof to get through that process.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Jason.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much for joining, guys.
Yep. We'll see you soon.